Hey guys, welcome to Jacking Cars. Today, I present to you my new car. This is a 2022 Genesis GV70. I've currently had the GV70 for about 2 months now, so I finally wanted to do a review and kind of tell you what I think of it. And here is the key fob. I did buy a key cover. It is originally just black plastic, but very high quality. Unlock lock. This is our remote start. This is the front and this is the remote parking assist. So you can move the car forward and backwards with the push of a button. Here is our panic button, and this turns on the headlights. Let's go ahead and take a walk around the vehicle. Let me demonstrate remote parking assist for you. It's pretty cool. So you just lock the vehicle, hold down the engine start stop button. So that'll start the engine for you. And then I'm gonna move it backwards a bit. Just by holding down that button, and it will stop for you. So then I will now turn the vehicle off. So let's take a walk around the Genesis. So we do have these 19-inch alloy wheels with 235/55 R19 Michelin tires. We do have LED blinkers, and we do have this really cool gray metallic exterior. And this one does have a 17-gallon fuel tank. Premium is recommended. We have these really cool LED taillights and blinkers, our Genesis GV70 badge, and our Genesis badge, as well as our all-wheel drive badge. Every single GV70 comes standard all-wheel drive, and I did have a tow package installed on this one since I will be towing my trailer. As you can see, this really cool tail light that kind of dips down. Very, very handsome SUV. Under the hood is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with 300 horsepower and 311 foot-pounds of torque. I really did want the 3.5 liter V6 model, but they're very hard to find, and I just wasn't looking to spend that much money. But this has plenty of power. I tow a 2,000-pound trailer with this, and it does it perfectly. This one does have a towing capacity of 3,500 pounds, and it does it beautifully. So I am definitely happy with the 4-cylinder, but if you do need that extra power, I highly recommend the V6 as well. So this is very high quality material. This all has ambient lighting inside, and we do have very high quality door panels. No hard plastics throughout the interior, which is really nice. And we have this beautiful vanilla beige leather interior. This is the advanced model, so this one does have genuine leather seats. And we do have Genesis floor mats, although I am going to order some leather floor mats. I think Minichi makes them, and they're very high quality, because I just don't want to live with the carpet mats here in Colorado with the snowy weather. But we do have this really nice 2-spoke steering wheel. Very different from the competition, but I gotta say, I really, really like this steering wheel. It was definitely something to get used to, but it's just so comfortable to hold, and I highly recommend this. But you can get a 3-spoke steering wheel in the GV70 3.5 turbo, the sport trim. So let's go ahead and start the engine. It's really quiet, really nice. And we do have an auto start stop. I hate the auto start stop, honestly. It's not my favorite. It's very jerky in this car, and it's bad for the engine, so it's just not my favorite thing, and it barely saves any fuel. So I'd rather just have the engine on at all times. Over here we do have 2-person memory. And this car does also have a Lexicon sound system, which is just awesome. And down here, we do have our climate controls to the screen, heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel as well, air conditioning off, and our defrost, as well as our recirculation, defrost for the rear, and our sync Down here we do have our transmission controls and our knob for controlling the center stack. And I gotta say, a lot of people have said this in other reviews, but I totally agree that these knobs are both too similar, and I always reach for this. Even after 2 months of having the car, I'll reach for this rather than this, and I've almost shifted it into neutral on the highway, which is definitely not good. So I would have preferred a different setup, but still, it's really nice. So you do have our volume controls. I'll go ahead and show you the Lexicon sound system. It is absolutely amazing. So I have tuned the settings a little bit. I've turned up the treble just a bit and turned up the bass. I can show you my settings. Highly recommend the settings I have. I got them from the GV70 forums. And we do have our camera just by pushing that button. And we do have our surround view camera, which is definitely cool. It's not as good as the BMW system, but a lot of cars are now doing this, and I think it's still very useful, but I personally only use the 360-degree camera, but it is still great. And then you have settings for camera, and you can go back home. I like using it. This is hard to reach, so I usually only use the knob, but you've got phone, you've got Genesis connected services. You can control the car throughout your phone, which is really useful. I think you get the first 5 years free, and you can control the engine, start it, turn it on and off, know where your car is, unlock and lock it, etc. This one does also have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, of course, and we do have voice memos. You can go ahead and record things. I'm not sure what you'd use this for, but it is a useful feature if you would ever need it. Also setup. So you've got your vehicle, you've got your driver assistance modes, you've got your drive modes. You can change it sport, comfort, custom. I usually keep it in eco mode. I'll usually get around, I do mostly city driving. I get usually 20 to 22 miles to the gallon. And with my trailer, I'll get about 14 miles to the gallon, which isn't horrible considering that it's a very heavy trailer. It's a very heavy vehicle with the car and the trailer. So this is a cool feature, actually. You've got smart posture care, which basically you put in your height, your inseam, and basically you enter all of this and it'll adjust the seat to what it thinks it is. And it's actually a pretty great system. I personally changed the seat a little bit, but this is great for posture. And it does actually a very good job at adjusting the seat to the proper settings. And you got seat warming balance. I mean, you've got all these all these features that are just amazing. Genesis has done an amazing job at creating this car. It's great first try. So I personally have a custom color. You can choose any color you want, aquamarine. I mean, you've got so many options. I found that this really cool reddish pink has been my favorite. I also like sapphire violet. But overall, it's really cool. You can also dim it in the dark, but I personally like having it brighter just because it has such a cool look. You've got your one-touch turn signal. I mean, you've got so many options in this interior. I have it on 3 flashes usually. High beam assist, which is great. Works great. Sometimes it'll flash somebody just because it won't see the lights and then it'll see it, but it is a really good system. It doesn't see people, so you got to make sure that you don't blind somebody on the street, but it is a great feature and I love having it. You've got so many features: rear occupant alert, welcome light, and you've got climate controls as well. You can adjust climate, recirculate air, automatic ventilation, all sorts of features that are just really great. And you've got navigation as well, so you can put in your home, save places, Genesis dealerships. It's a great feature as well. And I'll show you voice commands real quick. Use this button on the steering wheel.
Please say a command.
What is the temperature today?
There will be a high of 59 degrees with a low of 30 degrees.
So Really nice feature. You've also got sounds of nature, which is just interesting to say the least. I'm not sure I would ever use this, but it is kind of cool to have. You got clumsy waves. Clumsy waves is my favorite, to be honest. But I personally don't use that feature. I'd rather listen to music. Valet mode, quiet mode, that basically turns off the speakers in the rear and reduces the interior radio volume. So you've got all these cool features that you can use for the climate settings as well. But everything that you really need is down here at the bottom. So you got notifications and the manual, which is nice. Up here you do have your garage home link system, and you've got a sunglass holder and dome lighting, and even everything up here just looks high quality. Nothing looks like it comes out of a Hyundai Elantra, which is just awesome. So you can turn on all of the things. Hyundai's done a great job. Even the new Elantras are just amazing. Great value. Hyundai's just done an amazing job at blowing the competition away. So you've got your mirror with a very high quality LED light, and you can move it back as well. And you've got this really cool moonroof, which is huge. And you can either do 1 click or 2 clicks, and that'll completely close everything up. It'll close the sunshade and the sunroof at the same time. Which is a great feature. And you've got automatic wiper controls. You can adjust your intermittent settings, and let me take you through the center display real quick. So you've got your trip settings. I personally have on miles per hour. One problem with this is it's not fully digital. You can only get that on the 3.5, which is really a bummer. And the heads-up display, it doesn't have a heads-up display. You can only get that on the 3.5 liter V6. So they really sell the V6, but seriously, this 4-cylinder is so amazing that the V6 will be great, but seriously, the 4-cylinder is more than adequate, so I wouldn't worry too much about that at all. You can show your driver assistance settings as well, and you do have your highway driving assist too, which is great. Adaptive cruise, a little horn. So mode, I'll show you Bluetooth audio, and then you do have a favorite button, which I have as phone projection. So you got radio media setup. You've got all these high quality brushed aluminum look buttons that are just super great. So we'll go ahead and turn on the hazards and the headlights, and then we'll look at the outside and see how everything looks. Over here you've got your trunk settings and your parking brake. Go ahead and pop the hood and look at the engine as well. You got your seat controls, recline lumbar, and your Genesis sill plate. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel as well. Passive locking system. Car will give you an alert that the vehicle does not have the key fob inside. I'm absolutely in love with these taillights. They just look so cool. Just the whole lighting on this car is just amazing. There we go. And like I said, this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, 300 horsepower, 311 foot-pounds of torque. Expect 20 to 30 miles per gallon. 30 miles per gallon on the highway. So, just a really great car. And you've got this really cool Genesis grille. That is your adaptive cruise control sensor too. And I did get a clear bra installed. Not sure you can see it on camera. They did a really good job at installing it. And you've got your downhill brake control too, which is awesome. traction control off. You got sport mode, launch control. One issue I have noticed with this particular GV70 is when using launch control and putting it in sport mode. I did the whole thing that Genesis told me to do. I turned off traction and stability control, put it in sport mode, mashed the brake pedal, mashed the gas pedal, held it for 3 seconds, and then let go. And as soon as I let go, the entire gauge cluster goes off and the radio, and the car still runs normally, but the entire computer system redoes. It just restarts completely. It's interesting. The speedometer goes back to 0 and then comes back. It acts normal completely after that, but I've just noticed that one little glitch. But it is a first-year model, so do expect some little issues here and there. But that is literally the only problem that I've ever witnessed with this car, which is pretty amazing. So I'm just super excited. But anyways, we'll go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. So you've got your sunshades here. I always keep these up. They're not powered, they're just manual, but still nice to have. All windows are fully automatic. Just the quality has continued throughout the entire interior, which is just really nice to see. And I did add some trash cans in here to keep the car as clean as possible. But you are sitting behind a 6'1" driver, and I still have plenty of room. You've got cutouts for your knees, which is nice. So I could definitely sit here for extended periods of time, and you do have somewhere to put your feet. So no complaints at all with backseat legroom. It is much more spacious than I would have imagined. And you've got your rear air vents, and you can also control the rear air back here. So there is a tri-zone climate control, but the backseat does not have controls for it. And you do have an outlet, which is really surprising to see in this small of an SUV. And you've got your 2 cup holders as well as an armrest. And the interior is just super high quality. Everything is just so nice. So really happy with it. And like a Porsche Macan, the trunk release is not down here, it is located here on the wiper shroud. So back here you actually do have really decent trunk space. I'm very surprised that they were able to get this much trunk space. Obviously you do have that low profile design back here, so you do lose some, but still very spacious for the size of the vehicle. I'll move these out of the way. You do have under here, you've got some more storage. I have some stuff down there, but you actually do have a lot of space back here, which is really great. So you got your spare tire and your jacks, everything you would need. To keep a roadside safety kit in the back, and the tire pressure inflator. And you can fold down the seats here. There's a trash can blocking it, but you can either close the trunk or close the trunk and lock it. Goes back to this position, so I always have to recline it. And this is a luxury vehicle. This is a Genesis, so you can move this seat forward and backwards, which is just super cool. I actually really like that feature. So 2 USB ports too, and you got storage pockets on both sides. More same as the driver's side for controls. And here, got your glove box, plenty of space, wireless phone charger, 2 cup holders, and a very decent size center console with storage all the way back here. So they did a great job at maximizing space. This one does have an 8-speed automatic transmission too. The same vanity mirror as the driver's side, and you do have handles throughout the interior. You have 4 of them. I didn't install this tint strip. I love it. Not everybody loves it. It's either a love it or a hate it, I see it as, but got my dash cam and my unit in R7 radar detector. So also I forgot to mention this, you can use your profile for fingerprints. So I just put my fingerprint there and it remembers all my settings and brings me into the infotainment system. It's also great for valet because they won't be able to access any of your information without the fingerprint. So super nice. Genesis format on the passenger side as well, and you just got all this super high quality stuff and ambient lighting throughout the whole interior. I'll have to do a night drive at some point video just to show off the ambient lighting because it is amazing, and I also will do a test drive video at some point too. So overall, highly recommend the GV70. It is a great choice. I've loved every bit of it over the past 2 months, and I think it's a great choice. It's much more modern than the Porsche Macan. The Porsche Macan kind of feels a little dated at this point. It's design's out of 2015, so this just feels really modern and futuristic compared to that, but that is just my opinion. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.